Welcome back to the Hack of the Hermit series. This has been part 1, prerequisites and practices for achieving mastery over the microcosm that you are. In these videos, we have been learning those 7 keys for unlocking our magical potential. And finally, we have made it to the final key, key number 7. This key contains the master key and the ultimate secret ingredient that is going to, once plugged in, ignite your practices and reveal what they were always about all along. You just didn't know it yet. So without further ado, this is key number 7, gradually build your practice. So the first thing that I'm going to share in this particular key is the secret, and this is the secret of seed saving. So this is the most protected secret in the world, the protected secret of all secret societies and mystery schools. This is the secret of the yogis, the brahmacharya warriors and the secret of white tantra. This is the secret of sexual energy in yoga. This is the secret of the Taoists and the esoteric Buddhists, which teach how to transmute the sacral energies by reversing the flow of the path of least resistance and recirculating it up the spine, up into the higher centers. This is the secret of Kundalini Yoga. This again is the secret of the Taoist masters. This is the secret of Helena Blavatsky's work and which is found in the Secret Doctrine. This is the secret of the Gnostics, which is often called the perfect matrimony. This is the secret of the ancient alchemists and the Egyptian magicians, the alchemies of Horus, the sex magic of Isis. This is the secret of modern magic and esotericism. This is the secret of high magic and ceremonial magic. This is the secret that the Nazis were into protecting and studying and discovering. This is the secret of prana, chi cultivation, alchemical secretive processes, and mastering Vril, the Vril Society. This is the ultimate secret of secret societies such as the Freemasons. And I've pointed you in the direction today, my friends, but it's up to you to do the work for uncovering the great arcanum AZF, the great work, the Philosopher's Stone. This is the most protected secret in the world. People have given their lives to protect this and to preserve this. This is the esoteric mysteries that are contained in every exoteric form that we call mainstream religions. All of the mainstream religions are merely exoteric shells, and the shells know not what they contain, but they contain the secrets, the esoteric mysteries, the gold that's contained, that even those preserving and adhering to the forms, they know not which they're protecting, but they're serving their purpose throughout human history, again and again, generation to generation to generation. This is the Taoist sexology. This is brahmacharya, arcanum, AZF. And so this is the secret of seed saving. Ultimately, this is reversing the flow. So instead of sending out our energy through the path of least resistance, this is learning to retain, cultivate. So in other words, we're not becoming less sexual, we're actually becoming more sexual beings. And we're learning to cultivate more and more of that sacral, creative energy in our belly, that when we've been doing that fire belly breathing and warming the stove, we're doing all this stuff to charge up all of that energy. And instead of sending it out and just wasting it, we're actually recirculating it by opening up these channels in our bodies that that feed all of the other channels in our body, the nadis. So not only do we each have a physical and a non-physical body, we also have a semi-physical body. This is the world of the meridians, the nadis, the chakras, the dantians. This is our energetic body that is the bridge between the physical and the non-physical. These meridians flow through each of the energy centers, and this is the secret of ancient alchemy. In other words, we're transmuting these base metals into gold. And the way that we do that is we tap the snake that's coiled 3.5 times at the base of the spine. We tap it on its head and we say, hey, wake up, man. It's time to spiral up the tree. And the 2 snakes, Ida and Pingala, go up the spine, just like on the caduceus staff. And they begin to travel through each of the energy centers, the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, and the heart center. And then they go through the throat. And each time that they're doing this, they're turning on these energy centers. And every time a new energy center is activated, it's like the next level of your awakening. And then it goes to the third eye and you're able to see. And then it goes to the crown and all of a sudden you have knowledge. And so this is the ancient secret of the alchemists. In Manly P. Hall's classic work, The Secret Teachings of All Ages, he writes about alchemical symbolism, and he says, in alchemy, there are 3 symbolic substances: mercury, sulfur, and salt. And this is what is also written about by Samael Aun-Weor in the Perfect Matrimony, where he absolutely discloses. He transcends the occulted writings, and he actually explains exactly what these symbols are referring to. Anyways, to these was added a 4th mysterious life principle called Azoth. Again, Samael Aun-Weor discusses these things in great detail. Concerning the first 3, Harry Van Welling has written, there are 3 basic chemical substances which are called the philosopher's salt, sulfur, and mercury, but which are not to be confounded in any way with the crude salt, sulfur, and mercury taken from the earth or secured from an apothecary. So in other words, to those who do not have eyes to see, to the unworthy, to the profane, they look upon the alchemists and they say, these guys must be scientists who are obsessed with trying to make gold. They must be greedy bastards who are obsessed with the physical world, transmuting real base metals into real gold. No. For those who have eyes to see, they know it has very little to do with actual chemistry. It has to do with inner alchemy. And salt, sulfur, and mercury each has a triune nature, for each of these substances contains in reality also the other 2 substances, according to the secret arcanum of the wise. The body is salt, therefore threefold, namely salt, sulfur, and mercury. But in the body of salt, one of the 3 salt predominates. Mercury is likewise composed of salt, sulfur, and mercury, with the latter element predominating. Sulfur similarly is actually salt, sulfur, and mercury, with sulfur predominating. These 9 divisions, 3 times 3 plus Azoth, the mysterious universal life force, paying attention, equals 10, the sacred decad of Pythagoras. Concerning the nature of Azoth, there is much controversy. Some view it as invisible, eternal fire, others as electricity, still others as magnetism. transcendentalism, which is our Western magic, refer to it as astral light. So are you getting the clue here? This is what's referred to in our transcendental magic. We have Eliphas Levi writing all about astral light in completely occulted language. You're going to read this and you're going to be like, what the hell did I just read? And it's because it's all about the symbolism. This is not the devil. This is one of the best, one of the highest good symbols that you can ever feast your eyes upon, representing the secrets of God and the secrets of the self, which are the same thing. And this is also the secrets of the tarot. Once you understand the secrets of the Hermit, which I will explain in just a moment, you start to understand the secrets of the two lovers. Notice the fire going up the back. This is the yang energy. This is the governor channel going up the back and feeding the higher centers and being transmuted as it comes down. This is, see the snake going up the tree. This is the Kundalini, secrets of Kundalini yoga. This is, look at this, the Ida and Pingala going, spiraling up the staff, forming the igneous wings on top. What do you think that represents? This is the secret of understanding the devil. This is not Luciferianism. This is not. Isn't black magic. This is the secret of sex transmutation. The lovers that are chained to the earth, that are perpetually seeking one another, yet never finding that union. This is the secret that's contained here. This is the secret of the magician, of course. This is the secret of holding the phallic wand and producing the fruit of the arcanum. It just keeps going and going and going. And it has everything to do with achieving mastery of your microcosm and unlocking the 7 keys to our magical potential. I want to read a tiny excerpt from this the Perfect Matrimony by Samael Enleor, and this is all about the great the Hermit card. So again, this is what it looks like. This is the Hermit, and it says, the lamp of the Hermit of the 9th arcanum, which is normally found enclosed within the deep caverns of one's sexual organs, must be placed within the tower of the temple. The tower is the brain. So he's revealing the secret of this card right now. The tower represents the brain. Then we become enlightened. This is the truly positive path that converts us into masters of samadhi, ecstasy, bliss consciousness, you see? Either you're getting this or you're not. And it is not for me to determine who has eyes to see and who doesn't. Either you're gonna move past this and watch some kittens on YouTube, or you're gonna keep watching this because you know that this is for you and your heart's beating a little faster right now. This is the truth that you're after. And let's see. If it's okay, I want to read a little bit from Montauk Chia's book, which is The Taoist Secrets of Love, Cultivating Male Sexual Energy. Notice the fire channel. This is the governor channel going up the back, and this is when it gets to the top of the head, it comes down the front, and this is the water channel that's been reversed. And you're gonna learn why this is reversed in this final chapter of this book, chapter 18, the summary of the 7 stages of Taoist esoteric yoga. The introduction of the 7 higher formulas of Taoist practice is the opening of the microcosmic orbit that I've been talking about all along, or the rebirth process of return to the mother's womb. So you're about to see how this is actually returning to the mother's womb. The route is composed of the functional and the governor channels, which must be purified and linked to form a free-flowing circuit. The life of a human being begins with the piercing of an egg by a sperm cell. From the original act of kung fu, an enormously complex human being develops, which is capable of real genius. The fetus develops around that point, which is called which is called the navel. It is from this point that nutrients are absorbed and wastes expelled from the developing creature. Therefore, in the warm current practice, the navel is a point of overriding importance. This is why we began with this, with our warming the stove and fire belly breathing. While in the womb, the human being doesn't breathe air, the lungs do not function at all. Energy and oxygen are passed to the fetus through the umbilical cord. When the energy flows into the fetus's body, it enters at that point at which the navel will later be after the umbilical cord is severed. Then it proceeds downwards to the bottom of the trunk, flows all the way up the spine to the crown of the head, and from there flows down the middle of the face, continuing on to the navel again to complete the circuit. This is the microcosmic orbit that I've been teaching you. The fetus, it is said, automatically touches its tongue to its palate. This serves to link the two energy channels and allows the power to flow. The crown of the baby's head is open and moves up and down. This is due to the waxing and waning of the flow of power through the particular part of the body. Thus, the tongue is the terminus of the functional channel. This energy pathway begins at the bottom of the trunk, at the point midway between the anus and the testes called the huyin. From there, it flows up the front of the body through the kanwan and the chai, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce this stuff, chi, and then through the qigong, the navel. Then it passes through the zhongwan, solar plexus, and proceeds to the shanzheng, which is the heart center. Thereafter, it passes through the suanqi, the throat, sorry about that, center, the throat center, and up to the tongue terminus. When connected with the governor channel, the energy path reverses direction and flows down from the tongue, navel, and to the huyin. The governor channel, so this is the channel that flows up the back, the channel also starts at the huyin. From this point, it moves up the posterior of the body. In doing so, it passes through the changjiang, the base of the spine, and goes up to the mingmen, the L2 and L3 of your spinal column, or the door of life, where it continues up the qigong, the T11 spine, and it's going through these different pumps that actually help to pump the what is actually our distilled seminal vapors that's going up the spine, or to the emerald pillow, the jade pillow of where the medulla, the spine, meets the skull. From there, it rises to the crown of the head, or pai hui, the crown, and then goes to the shengting and down to the yin tang between the eyebrows. Here it passes to the sanken, the tip of the nose, down, and it travels down to the palate, so you kind of swallow, and which is the terminus of the governor channel. So you're opening your microcosmic orbit, and you're practicing these other things along with it. So this is where it talks about the tongue is the switch of the circuit. So I'm going to keep reading this. This is good stuff. The tongue is a switch of the circuit. The circuit may be closed when the tongue end of the functional channel is raised to contact the palate terminus of the governor. Thus, during practice, we must keep the tongue in contact with the palate. Placing the tongue against the palate has a calming effect for those who practice the warm current method. It also generates saliva, which is regarded as the water of life in Taoist practice. Saliva is said to be the chief lubricant of all bodily functioning. In the Taoist view, the soft palate is regarded as a direct link to the pituitary gland. As a man grows older, this is key right here, he suffers increasingly from an imbalance of yin, female, and yang, male, energies in the body. As these disharmonies multiply, the bodily organs begin to suffer from the receipt of too much or too little energy. How different is the vital power of an infant? He grows nearly an ounce a day. This represents an astounding accomplishment in the assimilation of energy by the material body. The baby's body can do this heroic job of cell building because its routes of energy are thoroughly open and the flow of power is consequently very strong. The governor channel controls the yang organs of the body. These are the lungs, spleen, heart, kidneys, circulation, sex, and liver. The functional channel controls the yin organs, which are the colon, stomach, small intestine, bladder, triple warmer, and gallbladder. The tissues of yang in tendency and the blood is yin. The tissues are yang in tendency, and the blood is yin. This is the 7 formulas of the 7 golden books of the Tao. The first formula is the fusion of the 5 elements. It gets into some really cool stuff here, but this is very occulted still. Even though Mantak Chia does distill this from various paths and really offers it in a way that's palatable, the most overt representation is going to be found in the Gnostic teachings. And a lot of you guys have probably read this bestseller, Think and Grow Rich. In chapter 11, see if I can find chapter 11. In chapter 12. Chapter 11, it's called The Mystery of Sex Transmutation. And he doesn't tell you how to do it, but he tells you, by the way, there's this really important secret that if you don't learn it, you're missing the point. And he puts this at the end of his book, just like I'm kind of putting at the end of my series here, is to say, hey, this is the master key. Once you plug this key in, everything else begins to make sense. And I gotta take a drink here. What am I drinking today? It's Earl Grey. No special beverage or cigar today, but just sticking to some tea today. So we're talking about the secret of seed saving. If you, for those who do not practice seed saving, it's going to feel, when you're doing these practices, when you're doing the spinal breathing, it's going to feel like you are going on steam, like you are about to run out of gas and you're driving your car down a hill, but you know that once you get down that hill, you basically aren't going to have anywhere to go. That's what it's like if you're not practicing seed saving. Seminal Kung Fu, ovarian Kung Fu, look this stuff up. It's crucial. This is the secret that you've been missing. So that's the first thing I wanted to teach today in key number 7. The next thing I want you to remember is that we are all we're practicing pupils who are also preaching as we go. So you want to teach, you want to take on a student, you want to share your knowledge, you want to remember that you are a part of a community. It might be a family of 3. It might be a huge community where there are a lot of people looking to you for the truth. Regardless, we each have a sphere of influence and we each want to own that. And with knowledge comes great responsibility. Do not share this with everybody. Do not cast your pearls before swine. But once you start to get a hang of this stuff, there are going to be people looking to you and you're able to share this with those who have eyes to see. So just sort of test the waters, put it out there. And when people are like, you see that sparkle in their eye and like, this is for me, share it with them. And it's important. The world needs this information. So teach, take on a student, share your knowledge. We are all wounded healers and teaching students. And then you want to use it or lose it. So if you don't do something with this energy, if you're building up all of this energy, you're retaining that sacral energy and you're learning to reverse that flow instead of sending it out and wasting it through the path of least resistance. You're retaining it and you're sending it up the spine into the higher centers and recirculating throughout the body, transmuting base metals into gold. You're going to feel all this extra energy. And if you don't do something with it, you're going to lose it. You're going to leak it out in different ways. And so you want to channel it into positive things that allow you to get rid of that excess energy. Excuse me. Maybe fitness, yoga. Some people are going to get really, really into fitness at this point. Running, going to the gym, great ways to get out this energy. Creative enterprises. Maybe you're an entrepreneur. Maybe you have all these ideas. This is going to feed those things. So whatever you're kind of into, now you're going to be really into it. And that's good because this is what this is all about. We're not building up all this energy just to not use it. We're building it up because we want to use it in life. This is what it's all about. So you're transmuting it into something. You're transmuting the sacral, creative, sexual energy into joy, peace, creativity, harmony, sharing and caring and producing good things in the world. That's what we want to do. So another aspect of this is vitality. You're going to feel so vital. You're going to feel so full of vital energy, and you're going to want to get rid of it. And the key here is to learn to be comfortable with sensation. Learning to be comfortable with sensation. There's a difference between happy horny and sad horny, for example. A lot of us default to, oh no, I have all this energy, I need to get rid of it, and we just go to an object or a person, and we try to get rid of it as soon as possible, instead of feeling our vitality and stepping into the room full of vital power and actually owning the room and actually enjoying the sensations of all that energy that you're building up. But you don't want to build it up and carry it around your head, so your head explodes, you get headaches and irritability. You want to continuing to circulate it, and as you're sitting there doing the microcosmic orbit as you go, because you're mastering this now, it becomes a new way of being in the world. You're sitting there getting your rocks off, and nobody knows it but you, and it feels amazing, and you're expanding your capacity for bliss, and you're becoming a container for bliss consciousness. That's what this is. And you want to be, like Bruce Lee says, be water. You want to allow the waters to settle so that you can see yourself practicing. So this is like attuning to the inner sage. What you want to do is you want to see yourself practicing, and you want to align with the master in the mirror. So this is different from always seeing yourself as this puny little student who's never really going to get it. No, you're a master. Remember, we're aspiring to adepthood. So go ahead and shift your identity into the identity of the adept. Go ahead. Because you're manifesting that reality as you begin to feel, and go ahead and vibrate with it. Feel as though you already are there, even though you're not yet. That's key. So remember, water. You're allowing the waters to settle so that, and this is the stillness, this planting the seed of stillness in the soil of all that we're doing, seed saving, breath work. And as you plant the seed, it begins to grow, and the waters begin to settle, and you begin to feel your body from within, and that stillness is leaking into all these different aspects of your life. And so aligning with the master in the mirror. And then you want to expand your knowledge. This is building an occult library. So you want to go ahead and buy some books that I've shared a whole bunch of books today that you can go ahead and find. Most of these guys are available at a bookstore, at Amazon, wherever you buy books. And you want to read from different perspectives. So learn from the Taoist perspective. Learn from the Egyptian alchemist perspective. Learn from all the ancient paths that are found in India, like brahmacharya, and learn from the yogis that are teaching white tantra. Every single one of these paths teach the secret of seed saving, but most of it's occulted. They don't come out and say it. Again, in transcendental magic, it's called astral light. They never call it. Well, I'm not going to say it on this video either. It's occulted for a reason, because not everybody is worthy. Not everybody is ready to hear these secrets. And so that's why they're protected. However, now that we've entered into the age of Aquarius, we are now exiting this Kali Yuga and entering into a new age. Jesus talked about this, these overlapping ages. He talked about simultaneously the age that is passing away and the age to come. And it's taken us, 2,000 years to get here, right? We're here. This is the time where now people are ready for this knowledge. That's why we're talking about it blatantly out in the open. That's why Mantak Chia teaches this stuff in Thailand at his center. This is why the Gnostics in the Gnostic Society teach this stuff openly. And you want to expand. You want to expand your knowledge too. I already said that. You want to expand your wolf pack. That's another thing you want to expand. So you're expanding your wolf pack, manifesting your tribe, a tribe of brahmacharya warriors, a tribe of stogie yogis, whatever you are characterizing this path as, and your new self as. You want to go ahead and vibrate with it so strongly that you're a magnetic match for your tribe. And you also want to expand your capacity for bliss, because we're upgrading our nervous system. So we're expanding our capacity for bliss, expanding our knowledge base, and we're expanding our wolf pack. And the other thing I want you to do is I want you to get into the energy of yes. This is learning to live in a state of allowing. This is learning to live connected to our joy at all times. There's never the question, do you have joy? The question is, are you connected to the joy that is innate in your heart? If you have blockages, energetic blockages, these tools, the unlocking the microcosmic orbit, actually is going to help clear all of these blockages as you practice this, drawing the energy up the back, the fire channel. It's like, it might feel like you're sucking cold energy up a straw, and you're using the breath and the awareness, the focus of the Magi. You're holding it, and it might feel like you're doing a lot of work, but remember, one of the secrets to unlocking chi flow is actually non-effort. So the stronger you strive, the more it's going to feel like you're fighting the wind. So there's a flow. That's what Taoism's all about. It's like there's this universal flow, and you just got to find it. And you got to get into the flow. And once you do that, there's this inner lovemaking that's happening, in and out, in and out. And once you find that and unlock it, it's going to be bliss, and the bliss is going to grow and grow and grow. Again, we're upgrading our nervous system. Your nervous system right now cannot contain all the bliss that you're capable of. You're unlocking your inner magician. This is the keys to unlocking the powers within you. So that's what this is all about. If you skip this key, if you think, you know what, I don't need to save my seed, you'll miss it. You'll be going on fumes, and you'll be missing the secret master key, and this will never work for you. It'll be better than nothing, but it won't be what it could be. So get into the energy of yes, living connected to your joy always having some part of your awareness touching your joy at all times. It is possible, and it's the new way of being that you're getting into. So trust the process and know that you're capable of this. Trust your higher self to pull you along, not drag you along, hopefully. And finally, I want you to zoom in, zoom out. This is remembering that you're practicing this microcosmic orbit, and you are achieving mastery over the microcosm, but this has a huge effect on the macrocosm. So we have an influence on the macrocosm as well. So maybe you've heard of the 100th monkey effect. This is what I'm talking about. You might be the 98th monkey, and all you got to do is share it with 2 more people, and then we achieve universal awakening. You don't know. You can never know where we're at in terms of the collective consciousness. If you made it to the end here, I want to thank you for joining me on this journey. This concludes part 1. Prerequisites and practices for achieving mastery of our microcosm. We have lined up the keys for unlocking our magical potential. We know what they are. Now it's time to put them into practice. So again, start from the key number 1, put them all together in your own way. So this is, you are the creator of your experience. I've given you the key is you have to put them together and learn how to put them together. And your higher self is guiding you. And perhaps you have guides and masters that are also helping you out. Each of us have our own journey. Part 2 is going to be about transmuting lust into love, transmuting base energies into higher energies. We're gonna continue where we left off, and we're gonna take this even deeper. So stay tuned for part 2. Thank you again for joining me on this journey, and please message me, email me, and I'd be happy to share on an individual basis as well with anybody who has questions. Buy the books that I showed you, read the books, and continue cultivating bhakti desire so that you actually finish the race, because not a lot of people who start this race actually finish. Keep it up.